Hey everybody, it's Andy Kushner with the Wedding Biz, and this is another episode of The Next Level in which I have a guest co-host, and together we discuss the most recent interview of the week and suss out a few key topics and help translate them into some specific strategies for you to use to bring your own business to the next level. And before I introduce today's guest co-host, I want to mention last week's interview, and that was David Adler, CEO of Biz Bash. And I had Sean Lowe from the Business of Being Creative as the guest co-host. And that was a very interesting conversation. We got a lot into tech talk and what's coming to the event industry. It was really good. So if you missed it, check it out from last week. And so this week's guest co-host is Julie Novack. Hey, Julie, how you doing?
How are you? Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I so much love having you on the show. And let me tell everyone, just in case somehow they don't know, that Julie is the CEO and co-founder of Party Slate, a photo-rich website where leading event professionals share their work and build their brand and drive leads. And today's guest, who we're going to talk about, is Ali Barone, head event designer and owner and creative director of Ali Barone Events. Also, some of you might recognize Ali's name, or maybe you'll recognize her face because she was very popular on TLC's While You Were Out, the Emmy-nominated home improvement and design TV show. Ali is also speaking at Preston Bailey's well-known Protégé program. So, Julie, in terms of what kind of stuck out to me during this interview, right at the very beginning, I loved how she told that story about how when she was really young, she would hang out with her grandmother. Her grandmother would take her driving and they'd get lost and just pull over the side of the road and draw and paint and sketch. And it was always an adventure. And she was saying how that really sparked imagination for her. And it made me wonder that with today's technology and social media and texting and all of that, if we're kind of losing that sense of using our imagination like we used to in the old days when we didn't have anything like this to distract us.
Yeah, it's scary. With 3 kids that are constantly on devices, I worry that there isn't enough think time or creative time or using your hands. At the same time, there's this whole new level of creativity. For example, my daughter creates contemporary art on her iPad, and we've printed some and got them framed. And so there's a new type of creativity that's happening. But I do share the concern that, back when I was growing up, we did do a lot of coloring and drawing and creating because we didn't have all of these devices. So it's, there's a new form of creativity, but I would also agree that too much screen time can really hinder creativity. Yeah,
look, I don't know if this totally gives away my age range, but I remember playing with sticks. Okay, like that was, talk about having to use your imagination. We'd be outside all day, and I mean, our parents would say, just make sure you're back for dinner. I mean, I'd be like 7, 8 years old and talk about using your imagination. I mean, I worry about that too, but I'm personally taking off at the end of this next week. I'm going to go off hiking with some friends and just to disconnect completely from any kind of technology. I think that's really important for all of us, and
I think it's so important. And my kids went to overnight camp, and it was a nice little relief for me as we're Party Slate's expanding into new cities and raising money. And so it was a good time to get more work time in, but they have no technology at overnight camp. And they come back, and I honestly feel that they're so refreshed and so many amazing things that happen at this summer camp. And I think I need to do a better job at limiting screen time, and we just need to think about how it's impacting our children.
Yeah, and I'm thinking still for ourselves too to get those breaks, Well, also another topic, and it's kind of related in terms of just, being out there and having freedom again. She was talking about how she had taken some months off after, kind of in between jobs and after some renovation of the house that she and her husband has. And she said that she wanted to have more time, more freedom to create, as she said it, the life that she wanted to live on her own terms and pick and choose how many weekends to work and create her own schedule when she would come back and attract her ideal client. And when she said that, to attract her ideal client, and she said more. She said that by thinking about also the types of places that she wants to work, the people that she wants to work with based on their vision, I thought that was really interesting.
Yeah, I think, your network is such a great source of leads, obviously friendships as well. But what I took out of it is, if you want to attract certain types of clients, go to the places and be part of the community that you want to attract and also have fun doing it at the same time. So I really took that she wanted to really build her business on her own terms. And again, I think that's amazing that she had the luxury to be like, hey, I'm going to control my destiny and I'm going to build the business that I want to do and to attract and to produce. And that's what she really did. And I really admire her for that.
Yeah, I feel the same way. And it does feel, it's so scary, isn't it? It feels like such a risk and a jump off the cliff. And,
yes.
and yet when you do that and go more for what you want and what really pleases your heart, I do feel like the universe provides. And
I agree.
And you mentioned location. She said something about thinking about also the kind of locations where her ideal clients frequented and then going there. And she mentioned the Pierre Hotel in New York City and the Harvard Club and the Harmony Club and also calling on people there. That was a really interesting tactic, I thought, as far as getting the kind of clients she wants by going to the locations and getting, these relationships built with people who work at those locations that she wants to be at. I loved that.
Yeah. And I think in how I related that to my business is, I'm really, in the fundraising mode with venture capitalists. And a couple times I've been invited to these conferences like female founder conferences. And I could easily say, well, I'm too busy and I'm, expanding to all these new cities. I don't have time for it. But by taking the time to actually put myself in this community, I've gotten so many intros through other female venture capitalists or female founders that are really rooting for you. And, I think being in the community and immersing yourself with the people that will help you and that also have a shared vision and are rooting to, for your success, I think that makes a difference. So I really liked when she was talking about that.
Yeah, just putting yourself, you're talking about surrounding yourself with people who you want to, the type of people you want to work with and be around. I think that has a lot to do with it too. That's a whole nother thing. I know for myself, Julie, with my team, and I'm wondering about you with your team, we've all been through changes. And I feel like when I can have this attitude of, more abundance, that I can find exactly who I need, and I'm going to just kind of put it out there. It kind of comes to me in all these different respects.
Yes. I agree. And I think you and I are, in a sense, we're both building new businesses, and you with your podcast. Again, I'm a huge fan, and me with Party Slate. And I think, again, immersing yourselves in the communities where you're going to find clients, new employees, investors. It is worth jumping on that airplane to go to an event or to take that speaking engagement. Or I know you and I both attend Engage, wedding summits. Those are the type of things that you can't do all of them, of course, but you have to pick and choose and make sure those things align with what you want to accomplish with your business.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. And, and again, it's this whole attitude overall of abundance. And she was talking about how it helps to manifest. She said that she believes if she can see it, feel it. And I love how she said with joy and with a sense of excitement. And she said, even with some butterflies, but if you feel it and sense with that positivity that it's right there for the taking if you go for it.
Yeah. I agree. And I think as founders, you have to go in with the glass half full. There's a lot of days, you and I, Andy, have probably felt, obstacle 1, obstacle 2, employee issue 1 and issue 2. But then you think about the overarching vision and the overall opportunity and how much we love, each respectively love what we're doing right now. You manage to see, okay, that was a great learning and this is what we're going to do next time. Or you take it with, hey, I see the future. We are going to get there together, and any bumps in the road, nothing is going to slow us down.
Yes, absolutely. And believe me, there are bumps in the road, aren't there?
There are. Every time people, oh, Julie, you're killing it. You're killing it. I so appreciate all the compliments, but yet I know there's so much more to do and so many more obstacles to overcome. And, again, because I love it so much and I love the team and I feel so fortunate to do what we're doing and put such a bright light on the creativity of this industry, that, we work through it and we get stronger for it.
If you are an event planner, venue, caterer, photographer, or any other industry professional, you really should be aware of and using the Party Slate marketing platform. And I want to say, I only work with sponsors whose product or service I'm either fully aware of or even use myself. So you can create a free profile that can act as a photo-rich portfolio, or Party Slate has additional membership options available. And if you're planning or involved with an event, from weddings to fundraisers to baby showers and really everything in between, you should use Party Slate to get inspired. Save your favorite ideas and contact top professionals to help create your dream event. New photos from real events are uploaded to Party Slate daily, and their editorial team publishes articles that highlight the latest trends and planning tips. It is a really great site. You've got to visit partyslate.com to get started. And again, that's partyslate.com. I want to say for everyone listening too that, we all go through this. I remember, Julie, when I was sitting down, I think it was this part 2 with Preston Bailey, and he was talking about how, and remember, he talked about the top of your game. Mm-hmm. And he was saying how just 3-4 years ago, he had an entire year that was really rough and there was nothing going on with the economy. It was that bump in the road that we all hit. And I thought it was so inspiring to hear him talk about that.
Absolutely. And I hear other leaders like Marcy Bloom and Mindy Weiss and so many others who have gone through challenges and come out stronger on the other side. And I think from listening to these leaders, it keeps you motivated that, wow, they worked through it and I can work through it.
Oh, yeah. And I'm going to have one hell of a story about myself that I can talk about probably in a couple months. I've been hinting at it, but where I had a really challenging, I would say even a year. And now I'm coming out of it and I'm so excited, so much stronger. I'm sorry to be vague right now, but it was a super, probably one of the hardest years of my music business career. And because of it, I have, reformed what I'm doing in a certain different way. And it is going to be so much better. It's already paying off. I'm feeling so much better, but had to go through that rough time, as painful as it was.
Yes. They say what doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
Oh boy, so do I know that one.
I really believe in that. And I think it's really important to be strong for your team and to be optimistic, but I also think you should be authentic and really let people in on some of the challenges and also be open to the possibility that some people on your team or mentors could help you with the solutions. And I think I've always been open to the possibility that I'm going to hire, and I have hired people that are smarter than I am, that have different experiences than I do, and that complement my skill set so that we can together solve these problems.
Yeah, I like what you're saying about including everybody. I think that's really critical. Instead of us being afraid of what are they going to think? Are they going to be concerned? Are they going to be worried? Yeah, people then have I think once you let them involve them, they then start to feel more of a sense of ownership. And I find that people step up to the plate when that happens.
I agree 100%. People want to be helpful, and if they're, up for the kind of startup ride and the ups and downs, everyone wants to chip in to help solve the company's biggest problems and also help contribute to the biggest opportunities. So I'm constantly amazed and impressed with my team. We did 4 of back-to-back events over the last 4 weeks, from Napa to Atlanta to LA, and honestly feel that I don't know what we would have done without the team stepping up to play like 10 different roles.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. Well, before we go, there was also one other piece, not quite connected to this, but I thought it was really fun and interesting. She was talking about how Allie was saying how she has clients create a Pinterest board that they pin with reckless abandon. I love that phrase. She tells them, them, just reckless abandon, just go for it. So anything that really excites them about what they're seeing, and it can be travel and it can be anything, furniture, whatever, dresses. And what Allie does is she starts to see, as she said, these patterns and patterns like of colors and objects and textures. And she then narrows it down to maybe 5 to 10 images, as she said, and creates a mood board and a story to build out and then share with her designers. I thought that was great.
Yeah, I really like that she embraced the collaboration on the ideation. And I know all event professionals embrace it. I do see some eye rolling with Pinterest because what happens is they find something that's so out of reach or so not in line with what they had told their planner or what their budget is or whatever the kind of reason that the planners are not excited about it. I think you just got to take it as a piece of information and you filter through it as you would filter through a conversation or an interview with a couple or whatever it may be. And then you come back as an event professional or designer with your perspective in the form of a mood board or in the form of concepts to share with the client. But I don't think you should minimize that they want to be part of the process. And I love that she used that word, reckless abandon, because I think that was a really powerful way to explain, like, don't hold yourself back. There's no bad ideas in brainstorming and put it together. And we have found that a lot of planners and party hosts are using Party Slate to come up with ideas. They're using idea slates, which is similar to a Pinterest pin board. And they're actually pulling ideas from corporate events and from galas and from weddings. And you don't have to limit yourself to one event type. There's great ideas on all of these event types that can be pulled into a mood board. And I think that really is in line with what she's saying. It could be a home design or it could be a color palette, anything to help get a feel for what this client wants is part of the process.
Yeah, I like that. And also, everyone now, in terms of consumers, whether it's corporate or weddings or whatever it is, wants to really be different.
Yes.
It's interesting with weddings in particular how couples want to just do it completely differently than what they've seen with their friends. And so many traditions are kind of going out of the window and creating their own traditions. And so to just go for it like that, I think is great. It gives the designer, it gives us in the business a different window into who they are and what might be possible. It's really fun.
Absolutely. And I don't think we have to stick to, and I know we're so excited every single day we see new events that are not sticking to the traditional formula of you must do this for the ceremony, you must do this for the corporate reception. We're seeing all different formats and, there isn't a rule on how you run an event. And I'm loving these weddings that I'm seeing that are kind of like living room style with beautiful rugs and, outdoors and things that, we just didn't see 10 years ago. I'm just really excited at all the new things we're seeing coming into Party Slate that don't follow the rule book, so to speak.
Yeah, that's right. You get to really see it all.
We do.
Yeah.
And we just hit 550,000 photos.
Oh my God.
Uploaded to Party Slate by leading event professionals and venues. And so we see it all. And it's just great to see so much creativity in this industry.
Yeah, I want to say to people listening that if you're not familiar with Party Slate, when this is over, go to partyslate.com and you can see what Julie's talking about. And you'll be really impressed and get an enormous amount of ideas. And well, that is all that we have time for today. And so, Julie, I want to thank you so much for being on the show again. I love having you.
Love your show. I'm a fan.
Thank you. And want to suggest that everybody check out the site of the person we've been speaking about, which is Allie Barone, Allie Barone Events. And her website is Allie Barone Events. It's ALIBARONE events.com. I'm going to put that in the show notes, so you can just check there. She also has different social media handles, depending on whether you want to go to Facebook, Pinterest, or Instagram. So again, go to the show notes at theweddingbiz.com, and you will see that. And for Julie, once again, her website is partyslate.com. And for social media handles, it's all at partyslate. And also, please be sure to review this with the Wedding Biz wherever you get your podcasts from and subscribe so you get notifications when the new episodes come out. And I want to mention that next week's episode is going to be a very unique one. It's about King Dahl, former executive director of events for all of MGM. He has quite an interesting story and a trajectory talk about, when Allie was talking about really wanting to have an attitude of abundance and wanting more freedom for herself, create the life that she wants and be able to be successful in her career. King has an incredible story. So everyone tune in next week. We'll catch you on the Wedding Biz.